Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Briceno. I'm a registered dietitian with the Healthy Lifestyle Center at Terrebonne General. We are going to start this series off very simple with basic nutrition information, and as the series goes on, we'll get more in depth on specific topics. Today we're going to talk about the different food groups and what we call the plate method. It's one of the easiest ways to watch what you're doing. With that, we have 5 different food groups. Certain foods that we eat in our diet typically don't fall into those, and we call them, I like to call them happy foods. They're foods that make us happy but not so good for our body. So we have fruits and vegetables, which we want to have half of our plate at all times to be fruits and vegetables. Now here in the South, that's usually one of those things that we don't eat a whole lot of. So we want to make sure that with each meal we eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and if you can push them in with snacks, that we're going to have fruits and vegetables. A quarter of your plate, we want to have some type of protein. We usually say that the palm of your hand, no thicker than your hand, is going to be the serving size for your meat. And then the other quarter of your plate is going to be carbohydrates. Now, those carbohydrates are going to be things such as rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, corn, peas, dried beans, like red beans, white beans, lima beans, pinto beans, chips, crackers, fruit, dairy products, and of course anything sugars. So those are the different type of carbohydrates that we do watch. Now, depending on what your goals may be, whether it be weight loss, weight maintenance, weight gain, your plate's gonna look a little different. So in the picture that you see, it's going to have 3 different plates. The first one's going to be your easy weight loss method, where half of your plate is going to be those fruits and vegetables. The second one is going to be more of like a peace sign when it comes to those servings, where it's going to give you a little bit more in order to help out with maintenance, or if you're very active. And then if you're looking for weight gain, or you know it's going to be a day that's very, very active, then it's going to be half of your plate is going to be carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your energy source, and we want to make sure that we are eating enough of them, but depending on what your overall goal is for your weight, it's going to depend on how many of those things we're going to get with each meals. So without having to measure or count or track or do any of those things, then we can do what's called the plate method and just visually make sure that it looks that way. Now with our plate, we also want to make sure that we're not doing those big 12-inch plates like a dinner plate. We want to make sure we're doing one of those like 9-inch plates. Think of a disposable paper plate. Those are typically a 9-inch plate. So the inside portion of it, not the fat designer ring on the side, is the 9-inch section where we want to put our food. Another thing you want to think about is timing of meals. So we want to make sure that you're not skipping any meals or snacks, and that if it's a time frame longer than 4 hours, we want to make sure that we're either eating a meal or a snack. And that's so that way by the time the next meal comes, you're not overeating those meals. We can only digest a little bit at a time, so we don't want to eat too much and then you feel sick. Another thing is timing of the meals as far as how fast that you eat. So from the time that you start eating, let's say it's 6 p.m., you start eating your dinner, and let's say you eat really fast and distracted, or you're talking to other people, and you notice that 10 minutes later, the food is gone and you're still hungry. It takes your stomach 20 minutes to tell your brain that you're full. So most times, if you eat very quickly, you're still hungry because it's only been 10 minutes, so you go for a second helping of food, and then from there, 20 minutes has passed, and that's when you're like, wow, I'm full, I need my stretchy pants. So we want to make sure that you're waiting the full 20 minutes. So if it's been 10 minutes since you ate that meal, we want you to wait the full 20 minutes. Then from there, you can say, okay, I'm still hungry, I want to have a second helping. 90% of the time, your stomach's going to be happy, you're not going to want anything else, and then you know that you did well with that meal. Making sure that we're not doing any kind of large timing of meal avoidance is going to be very important. And I know sometimes that's very hard with your profession, especially if calls come out and there's going to be no time to have those things. If there's any way that you can have some kind of small bar or a shake or something that's easy, that you can keep around, that way you can hurry up and put that in your mouth real quick. We just want to make sure that you have enough energy to do what you need to do. The last portion of this is going to be hydration. It's something that we want as much as possible in general, but especially because of the work that you do. We use different methods to make sure that you're properly hydrated. I'm sure you've heard of some of them, such as the urine test, where the color of your urine checks how hydrated you are. We want to make sure that you are drinking enough throughout the day, especially when you are called. And we want to make sure the types of drinks you're drinking are causing hydration and not dehydration. And when we say that, things that have caffeine in them, such as sports drinks, energy drinks, coffee, teas, sodas, any of those kind of things that have caffeine in them and certain other nutrients, they can actually dehydrate you. So the body sees things as a foreign substance and will try to pull as much water from your system to rid those substances. So be careful if you're doing any of those. We typically say replace a cup with a cup. So if you drink a cup of coffee, replace it with a cup of water, and then your 8 cups begin for the day. The other way is the urine test, like I stated, and that is going to be one of those things where if your urine is the color of apple juice or darker, that means you're dehydrated and you want to make sure you're drinking some more water. And if it's the color of lemonade or lighter, then we know that we are getting more hydration in. Think about when you wake up first thing in the morning, how dark it is. That's a dehydration type of urine. So we just want to make sure that you're drinking throughout the day, and never drink a large sum of water in one sitting, because that can cause issues as well. We want to make sure that you are drinking throughout the day as much as possible. For more information or any questions, you can contact Amelia. If you'd like more one-on-one private education, you can call us at the Weight Management Center at 985-850-6013.